Let me tell you how many pictures I have gotten of a wreath similar to this, and how many of you have wanted me to make it. So I'm making it. So let's watch the whole video and let me know what you like about it at the end. Okay, so we're here, and you guys have been sending me messages after messages after messages, especially in my Facebook inbox. Make this wreath, Julia. Show us how to do this wreath. So there's this beautiful wreath that they use the daisy, the Dean Michael daisy petal on. And I'm going to attempt it on this wreath. I do not know who's the original creator of the wreath. I wish I did. But I'm going to just kind of give you, from what I see and what I think it is. It may not look anything like that one, but let's just try. Let's just give it a try. So you're going to need a Dollar Tree pumpkin wreath frame, or you can even get the Hobby Lobby version. And the Hobby Lobby version is a little bit stronger. So if you don't like how, fragile this Dollar Tree frame is, I would go over to Hobby Lobby, see if your Hobby Lobby still has them. They're half off, so they're like $3. So these are $1.25, but I also know that these are hard to find right now. You can order them online. I don't know if they're still in stock, but I wanted to do this wreath just so that you could get on here and get it done so it can hang on your door. So let's get started by cutting our poly burlap. I'm going to show you something, okay? This is called Susie's Ultimate Collapsible Mesh Roller, and she sent me one of these. And Susie, I don't know why I waited so long to try this. Let me tell you, you have a wonderful product here. So I'm going to just put this on one of my rollers here. She does sell this on Amazon now. I'll have the link for that in Amazon. It should be in my Amazon shop. And you literally will just run the mesh underneath here, under this little roller here, and it will just roll so nicely. Now, I will be doing Amazon Lives, and you can see more of this over there. But I will leave a link for this. I really like this product. I really, really do. So I have a little story to tell you guys. So you guys know I moved into a new house, and you know that I don't have the studio set up yet for Julie's Wreath Boutique. And so basically, I'm kind of cutting it in because this is kind of a raggedy piece here. I was downstairs in my basement trying to find one roll, and I knew I did not have much orange mesh left. I'm just going to be honest. I knew I didn't have much left. And what did I find? I found one roll. Now, I did grab a couple other rolls, and I will show you here in a moment what I grabbed. And I think that they might work too. We'll try cutting it and seeing if it does. But right now, I'm just going to cut. I'm going to cut maybe 20 pieces at 10 inches each. So you want poly burlap, 10-inch wide mesh. And I have links to Mel's Crafty Mojo, to the Wreath Shop, Trendy Tree. All those places sell this mesh, and you can get it, and it's pretty good quality. So I'm just going to cut my mesh, and then we're going to come back and we're going to start putting this together. All right, so I've got my zip ties ready here. Any of these tools that you see me using are in, is that right? They're in my Amazon storefront, and that link is in the description box below. All right, I'll be okay here in a minute. All right, so basically we're going to take one of our pieces of mesh that we've already cut, and I think we're going to need at least a full roll of pieces. So I'm thinking you're going to need close to 30 cuts, okay? So you're going to take your curl side up, and you're going to take, really it doesn't matter which way you do it, but be consistent in the way that you do it. So then that way the finished sides are on the correct side. It's really kind of up to you. But I'm going to start it like this. I'm going to make a triangle here. And what I like to do is I like to bend one end under and the other under. And then I just like to gather it. And then that is your daisy petal. So like in a daisy wreath, that's just a simple petal. All right. So what I'm thinking is the way I'm going to kind of start this is we're going to start on these 3D rims of our wreath here. And what I think is that we're going to do 3 to 4 of these per section here. All right, and you're going to be able to move these around a little bit, and you don't really need to use as big a zip tie as I'm using right now, but this is what's really easy on my hands and I like them. So we're just gonna keep with it. So let's add another one. I've got glue on my table here. I need to get a new mat. Okay, I'm going to kind of go under, and then I'm just going to gather them. All right, and then I'm just gonna play with the petal a little bit to kind of get it the shape I want. All right, and so I'm gonna go over top of that existing petal that I put down, that you're used to working with. And now we're gonna do another one. So we're gonna do a total of 4, I think. So let's do 2 more. Grab another one. And then if you want, I think, man, it feels like I cut that too long. So let me see here. Yeah, this was cut a little longer than it should have been, but this piece of poly burlap was a little kind of wonky on me. So what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You're just gonna make it work. So I'm just gonna, you can even do that and then flip that one inside. Either way, you're gonna be good, all right? So I'm going to now put this one right here, and let me show you the back of this. All right, so see the pattern here? So we want that open pocket from that petal to kind of lay the stem of our petal, all right? All right, so let's do another one. And then I'm gonna cut that. So now that I have that first rim done, let's figure out what we're gonna do here. Because now that I have this done, I kind of wanted to see how much I needed to put here. So now let's do our same petal. Okay. I'm almost gonna go past it a little bit here so that it looks right. Okay, that looks good. And I'm dragging another piece here with me. All right. So either way, so I want this to kind of come in, all right? So what I'm gonna do is you can do one of 2 things. You could kind of overlap it there, but I kind of want it to go underneath. So I'm gonna kind of put it halfway up this side. I don't feel like we're gonna need as many of these as we do for the inside. So, and then we're gonna just, once we get more in, we're gonna just pull it down. Okay, so let's see if we can just do 2 on the edges here. I've got that glue that's like tugging at my petals here, but that's all right. So you can do this any way you want, just you need to make that petal, all right? And so having that edge on that side just kind of helps it. So I'm gonna kind of slide it underneath here. I hope you can see. And if we need to add another one, we can definitely do that, but I'm just gonna go on after this point. All right, let's see. We're gonna kind of point that in. See how I'm pointing that in? All right, so now, what are we gonna do now? All right, let me move these out of the way. I put 4 petals here, so I'm gonna put 4 here, 4 here, and so forth. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna look at our progress, okay? So put your petals, and then we're gonna come back and see where we are. It's pretty much that simple. Okay, so I wanted to kind of show you a step here that I kind of wanted to include. In the beginning, I told you it doesn't matter if it's the top part is finished and the bottom part is finished when you make your petal. I want you to do that this way for this side of your wreath on. And then on the other side, so this is the other half here, we're going to move our petal to finish side to the side of your table. I can think. And then you're gonna make your thing. Again, my mesh was pretty wonky, so I don't think it's going to be like the perfect daisy petal. It's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. I think it'll be pretty. So I'm gonna take this petal, and now that we did it this way, that way the finished sides, when we end this wreath, will be facing your door, and I just feel like it's a better side to show. So let me show you what I mean here. Okay, that one did not really do exactly what I wanted. This is a little challenging. This is not super easy, but it's definitely doable. Okay, so now I have that finished side on this side. So when it's laying on the door, the exposed side is more the finished side than the raw side. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna finish these and then we're gonna come back and see if we need to add some more petals. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you have 4 on each of these outer frames here, or rims, or whatever you wanna call it. So that's 24 petals in the middle here. So that's 24 petals, 4 times 6. And then there's 2 more on the inside. So that's 30 petals. But when you cut a length of this, you should be able to get a few more petals. So you might want to have 2 rolls of this, because when I'm looking at this, I feel like we need a few more up here. So this is what we're going to do. I wish I had orange pipe cleaners here, but I don't, and that's okay. We're going to make this work. And we are going to take, I want to kind of fill in these gaps here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pipe cleaner, and maybe I should show you the back. Let's just do it from the back, okay? And I want to build like a ridge, okay, for my other petals I want to put on, okay? So I took a pipe cleaner, I twisted it around there. I'm going to go over this one and under it, actually, okay? I'm going to go under that one, and I'm going to take another pipe cleaner, twist it around itself. Again, if I had an orange one, we would be using an orange one right now, okay? So we went over that one, so I'm going to go under it, okay? And you're going to put it about where those zip ties are, okay? I'm going to push this one down a little bit. So now let's go under and over. And then I'm just going to wrap it around this one, okay? All right. Kind of play with it. I'm going to pull it a little bit. And what that's going to do is going to give us like this ridge or this line, and I've got to make sure that's tight enough here. You're going to have this ridge or line that you can now attach for some more petals. So let's turn this upside down, actually. All right. And you're just going to play with the petals here. You can kind of put them in, and you're twisting them, and you're just trying to fill in the gaps, okay? So I'm going to, because I was able to kind of eke out 5 more petals out of my roll. So this is 1 roll. I'm now going to put the same petal here, 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 and here, okay? So let's see what that looks like. So if I want it this side over, I'm going to have the top and bottom finish sides and make my petal. Okay. And I'm just going to connect it right there. You shouldn't be able to see that, I want to say zip tie, but the pipe cleaner really. All right. And something else you can do before you start your project is you can take your pumpkin frame and you can trace it onto like a piece of felt, and then you can put the felt on the back of your frame after you're all done and said with this. But we might find that once we add our leaves to this, we might not have needed this step, but I just figured, well, I have the extra mesh here. We're going to do it. We're going to just go ahead and put it on. And so I'm going to do this here, and I'm going to keep going. And since this is in the middle, I'm just going to keep that same finished top and bottom. All right, so one of the things I forgot to tell you in the beginning, if you're new to Julie's Wreath Boutique, this is called a wood burner. This is what it looks like. I have these in my Amazon shop. I have a glass cutting board over my rotary mat. And basically I use this to kind of cut, or not kind of, I use it to cut my pieces of mesh. We're gonna cut green now. So I'm gonna cut about 8 of these pieces just to make sure we have enough and just so that we have plenty. This is the olive green poly burlap. So you're just gonna cut it. And this helps melt the edges. You should be wearing a mask when you cut this because it does put off some fumes. So I want you to be safe. And yeah, it's pretty easy to do. Okay, so before we bake the leaf, let's make the little stem of our pumpkin. So I'm gonna take a piece that I just cut. I'm going to fold it over And then let's fold it over again and fold it over again. Okay, so let's see, that's about 3 inches in height there, okay? Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it over one more time. And now I'm going to take my wood burner and see if this works here. Let's see, we're going to cut it at about 2.5 inches. And I'm going to see if it does. It'll melt together. Okay, I want it to kind of melt together. So let's see if we can make it melt. Because I don't want, you need to be very careful at this point. Because all of that is very hot. See all that smoke? Okay, all right. All right, let's see if we can now kind of hold that together and just kind of glue it down in a way. But I just don't want it to unravel. So I'm just kind of trying this to see if it works. Okay, so I'm gonna let that cool down and then we're gonna put that on our wreath. So I have my little stem here. If you don't wanna do it this way, you just have to be super duper careful. So I have it kind of molded. So I'm just gonna kind of like put it on our stem there, okay? And basically what you can do is you can flatten it down and then you can take a zip tie and go through it. All right, I'm gonna just go through it and I'm gonna connect it to the bottom of the frame, the main part of the frame here, the rounded part here. And that's just gonna anchor it in, all right? I just wanted to kind of melt these edges together so that it didn't unravel on the back, and I just wanted to give it a try. So we're gonna do it this way. All right, so that's done. Now you're gonna take your leaves and you're going to make your petal. This roll of mesh was so much better than the single orange one that I had. So we're gonna take this and now you're gonna just add it. You know, you're gonna add it so that number one, it covers. So I'm gonna take a zip tie here. So this one is gonna go towards the side a little bit. I'm gonna fix it here in a moment because it's getting, all right. Can you see that? I don't know that you can see that. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of work with the petal here. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. All right. Let's do another one. All right, see how we did that? All right, and just kind of, you might have to work the angle a little bit. It's all right, you can kind of manipulate your mesh here. So again, let's make another one. All right, gonna just kind of play with that. And I wanna kind of bring this one down a little bit, okay? But again, we gotta keep it to the side because we don't want that sticking out too much. Because what I want is to be able to keep covering each of these zip ties with the next zip tie, all right? So let's grab enough. Let's see, I think I cut 10 of these just to be careful, but we will see. I need to find some more zip ties. Okay, so this one, so let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put this one right here and it's gonna actually go on this wire. So we're gonna make the bow big enough to cover this too. Let me show you where I put that. I put it right on that frame right there. All right, so now before I add anything in the middle, we're gonna mimic what we just did on this side, we're gonna do on this side. So go ahead and put the same, but on the opposite end, okay? And then we're gonna come in for the middle. All right, so we have all of the leaves here, as you can see, all right? We got 3 here and 3 here. Now we're gonna put 1 in the middle. So we're gonna do that a little differently. I'm gonna go ahead and make my petal the normal way that I've been doing, okay? Let me make it a little bit. All right, and then I'm gonna take this, and if you had a green pipe cleaner, that would be really good right now, but I don't have one, so I'm gonna just take a zip tie here, okay? I'm not going to put it too tight, just a little bit, okay? All right, so we've got our petal. So now we need to anchor it into the top here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another zip tie. All right. And basically, I want it to kind of go down in there. I'm gonna kind of put it in between these and make these kind of make it lay down. And then I'm gonna flip this over, actually. Okay, so let's just flip that over now. So I'm still holding it. And I wanna make sure, I'm gonna take this zip tie and run it through the other zip tie. I think I made it a little too tight there, but that's all right. I got it. And now I'm gonna just connect it to basically where you connected your stem at too. This is also where you can take a zip tie or even a pipe cleaner and you can make a little loop. I wish I had the green here, but I'm gonna use this white and then hopefully we won't be able to see it when we hang it. I'm gonna just take it, I'm gonna run it underneath there again. Okay, so that's wrapped around that frame. And this is gonna be wrapped around this one. And we're gonna make about that big, all right? So we have a hanger. Pull it, and then I'm just gonna twist it right here. And now you have a little hanger, all right? So now, when you put this on this side, you're just gonna kind of play with it. You're gonna kind of have to kind of manipulate it a little bit. I've got a string here, so let's stick my burner here and just do that. So now we're gonna put a bow and we're gonna put some decorative like viney things in here. I don't know what you call them, but let me go get my ribbon. I wanna say I got this at Hobby Lobby. I am not positive, guys, but you kind of get the gist of what that is. Michael sells stuff like this. Joanne sells it. Everybody sells it, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, and you could also do something like this. Again, another thing from Hobby Lobby. It's just really up to you what you wanna do. I'm gonna take a chunk. This is like a garland. I'm wondering if I should just take maybe just smaller chunks. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this, all right, and just different chunks here, okay? And I think Dollar Tree might even sell something like this. So take your branch, okay? That seems a little long. Let's get rid of a little bit of this, okay? You can use it on a different project. A 14 long inch piece. I'm gonna kind of run it through here. All right, oops, little acorn is losing its little top. And you're just going to wrap it around, you know, somewhere underneath there. And then you're just gonna kind of like, when we're done here, it's gonna kind of go off. So I got one going that direction, and then I'm gonna have one going this direction. You might even want to put a little dollop of hot glue here and there. It's really kind of how yours lay. I feel like my thing of mesh wasn't the greatest today, but again, I didn't have much choice. I had one roll. That's it. So you're just going to wrap it around anything you can find. I'm just going to wrap it around this. All right, and then you can just kind of play around with it. Okay, so let's get our ribbon out. I already said we were gonna do a ribbon, so let's do it. Okay, so let's make a bow for this wreath, and we're gonna use two different ribbons here. I'm gonna put this to the side here. This one has a leaf that I need to work on. So we're gonna I'm gonna use this 2.5 inch ribbon that I had from Hobby Lobby, and I thought about doing this blue, but I think I'm gonna stick with this burlap color. This you can find at Michael's. I will try to link that in the description box below, and this one came from Michael's as well. And I want this to kind of be our center focus of our bow. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a tail, and I want the tail to be about, I wanna start it off at 10 inches, just so that I have a good tail to kind of put anywhere I want. And then I'm gonna do, let's see, I'm gonna do 8-inch loops. Let's see how big that is. Nope, we're gonna do bigger than that. We're going to do 10-inch loops, okay? So that's 10 inches here, 10 inches here. That's why I love these boards. And I'm gonna come and meet it in the middle. Then I'm going to twist it because there's a wrong side and a wrong side and a good side. I'm going to find another 10 inches here, and I'm going to come back. All right, I'm going to twist. All right, I'm going to put this over here. All right, I think that's good. All right, and then I'm going to cut this at 10 inches. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to cut this about there. All right, I'm going to take a zip tie. Oh, if I can find a zip tie, where did I put them? Okay, I'm going to just take a zip tie and we're going to place it right in the middle here. If you had a chip clip or something that could hold this, that would work too. I don't have one available, so we're just going to do this. All right, make sure see the tail, the wire is showing, so I want to make sure that that's turned the other way. Okay. That's just a simple bow. All right, so we're going to put this to the side. Now I'm going to just kind of put this here, and so what that's going to do is that's going to cover, as you can see, it's going to cover like the base of everything. That's what I needed to know. All right, so let's cut this wire, and I'm going to go underneath of that so that this is going to be what's putting it on the wreath. And you can use a pipe cleaner too if you want, but that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to flip that and we're going to lay that to the side, okay? Okay, so because this ribbon has a design on it and I want to keep it all going the right direction, I'm going to start with a 10-inch tail, okay? And I'm going to gather it. And I'm going to do 8 inches at this point, okay? I'm going to come, all right? And then I'm not going to twist anything, all right? I'm going to keep it because I'm just going to come back and do another 8-inch. Here is where it is, all right? We're not twisting, all right? I'm going to kind of work from it backwards. So now I'm going to meet it in the middle again. And I meet this one and just kind of match it up, all right? And then we're going to cut the tail. All right? So at this point, we're going to add it to our bow. And I'm just going to take a zip tie or a pipe cleaner now. And I'm going to go like so. And I'm just going to twist really good. All right. So we have our ribbons going the right way. Pretty simple, huh? We're going to cheat. Okay. We're going to take this and we're going to cut it. All right. This is going to be an easy bow here. All right. And I'm going to meet it in the middle. I'm just going to make a little loop. All right. I'm going to put a little bit, I can hear my children, bless their hearts. I'm going to put a little glue back there. Again, I love my glue gun. You get it on Amazon. Okay, let's see here. And then I'm going to cut the excess, so I didn't quite need that much. Did not need this at all, okay? So we've got a little button, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scrunch it down, and then I'm going to take that pipe cleaner that we just put on the back, and I'm going to run it back through, and I'm going to go through both ways and then come back to the end. And now we have a perfect little thing. My children are loud. I don't even know if you can hear them. Hold on. Okay, so now we have this really cute little bow. Let's put it on our wreath, and then we'll decide how we want to cut it. So you're just gonna bring your wreath over here, and again, we're just gonna run the wire through each side here. So we went underneath those points, and now we just twisted it. I'm going to clip those. Again, this is when you could add your felt on the back. You could glue it to it. You could zip tie it to it like I do for the flower wreaths, but you're just going to kind of work on this and get it to lay the way you want it. All right. I know this is a little upside down, and it's probably a little harder for you to see, but let me just kind of make this a little bit. I'm going to kind of put it down so you can see the stem. All right. I don't think you can see the stem quite as good on mine. So let's see, I think about right here, is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail it. Let's see, let's do this at about the same. All right, perfect. And then I'm going to dovetail this one. Pretty. All right, so I think that's really pretty, guys. Let me show you what it looks like on my front door, but I think this is pretty. This is the best I could do. Is it as beautiful as the original picture that everybody's been sending me? Absolutely not. Theirs is stunning, just stunning. But this is kind of my version. Let me show you in the next clip of it on my door. So this is what it looks like on my door, and I'm loving it. It's just beautiful. So if you made it this far in the video, make sure you leave a pumpkin emoji in the comments. And I can't wait to show you what next week's project. I'm pretty excited about it. So make sure you join us here next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday nights, every Sunday night. So go to Dollar Tree, get that frame, and make a wreath.